Welcome back to this another live session for the last session of this week, and this is a pretty important session because it's Friday, guys, and we can see the market start to move as we expected here. And there is a if you look at on gold, there is a the previous session there was a candle close, and with this candle close there is a bullish impulse that we have seen earlier. And with that bullish impulse, the market has shown significant. If you look at this price action here on gold, there is a bullish confluence here on the intraday perspective here. So we had a previous session was trade, and in this session also I'm looking at some entry with all of you guys, and I would like to see that all the members are here before we look for any setup. And if the stream is on, sometimes it causes a little bit of disruption. So if you guys can hear me, can you write something in the live chat? Write why will be helpful. So thanks for joining here, and let's look at this session, what we have in this market here on gold. Also, we'll be looking at, if you look at the dollar yen and also gold, in fact, that you can see there was a candle close earlier, and with this candle, so the market has reacted back to the upside, which was, that I was expecting this market to be bullish. And this is where the market has shown its impulse back to the upside here, that you can see this is a bull market at the moment, and here is the market structure is creating a bullish trend continuation pattern after forming a double top here. That's an important price action, that you can see the market has formed a double bottom on this order block and started to move again back above here. So the current level that you can see on the 15-minute chart, this is the current 15-minute candlestick pattern. There is a bullish price action has formed after this multiple rejection from this key support level that can move that market back above here to the upside. So for us to look for an entry for a bigger move in the market, I'm looking at bullish trend continuation here. Are you with me? So are you bullish or bearish on gold? We started the session just here and looking to see if a suitable entry opportunity here in this market. So looking at the lower time frame, if you look at this is the 15 minutes price action where there is a support, and here expecting the market to, what I think that potentially to cross this high and even cross further above here to create a new higher high in this market. So lower time frame, there are a couple of rejection that you can see here in this market, and here is that there is a this move that you can see here is it has created a bullish impulse here, and with this bullish move back to the upside on the lower time frame, this is the 1 minute chart, and you can see it started to again break below. So 15 minutes price action is bullish that you can see, and the market now again retesting this previous support level. I'm looking at a possible bullish entry if the price action shows proper confirmation. We have seen this is now a breakup structure here. This is the 1 minute chart. You can see from this high there is a breakup structure, and with this breakup structure the price has come back to this bullish fair value cap. If I enter here, I will be looking at here, I'll be looking at pending order, right? Because you want to enter with a pending order in this market. So looking at the lower time frame here, the market structure, there's a bounce now. It's breaking that low back again, and so there is a breakup structure right now. With this breakup structure, if the market shows enough confluence for another move back here, we will be looking at an entry. All right, so with a pending order, because with this breakup structure, if the market wants to continue the trend, you want to see that it's breaking this high again. And there is already an impulse here, a big move followed by this correction. The market is maintaining an uptrending market structure here so far. And that's where, if you look at the 30 minutes price action, here is the market has created this 30 minutes rejection as well. So looking at the 1 hour, here is the market also tested the lower shadow. And 4 hour price action, the candle close so far, the market has shown upside bias here. I would like to use a pending order above this high if the market reject from this level in that high confluence area. So it's gonna be a buy stop order that looking to see if the market return again in the major direction of the trend, and we'll keep this profit target here, the TP1. This is gonna be a TP1, and then we can keep the partial running if the market really cross this high here. So at the moment I'm looking at this level for a buy stop order here on gold. Looking for if the market reject cross this high, we will be on the trade. Here is the 15 minutes price action. The market from this high, there has been a complete rejection from this level, and now looking to see if this market again creating its move back above after this false breakout. If the market moves, we should be able to see creating a new higher high here. So I will be placing a buy stop at 4223.99. It's a pending order. And we'll be placing the stop loss below this low, 4221.97. And we'll be placing the profit target, the TP1, at this level at 4227.47. So it's gonna be a buy stop order. So place that buy stop, and expecting the market, it dropped to that key support level and got the rejection. So the stop loss here is for this buy stop order is only 20 pip. I would like to move little bit lower here. It's a very tight stop loss, as expecting that if the market breaks that high, it's only 25 pip stop loss. And I closed this stop loss at 4221. That changing. So the trade is active. I'm moving the stop loss at 4221. So I'm moving my stop loss at 4221.48. So this is where there is a guys, there is a the trade is active with me, and it's a very tight stop loss. Expecting the market to break this swing high here to remain potentially bullish. Now this market can still come back below here for another liquidity grab, because the very tight stop, actually it's unusually tight, and because this is what I'm aiming for, to keep it very tight. And if I am out, then I will be re-entering again as soon as I get that another entry. So I keep my risk low. Keeping the risk low is the key. And might react to that level. So it's very narrow move. Still on the trade. I'm still on the trade, and that might get interesting. It's 1 pip away, and got out 25 pip minus. So we'll be looking to see where it is now potentially be heading, and I'll keep the pending order again once we see the market prepared for another move. It's a 25 pip. Looking at here, the market has created a very narrow price action pattern here, and so here is what we can see. The market can still react from this support level if the market does. So I will keep my pending order above this level for the rejection again. So I will keep the pending order again, buy stop for that level, because if that level is broken, they're expecting the market to continue to rise here back above. So we'll keep the buy stop with a very tight stop loss. So we'll keep the buy stop at 4224.06. There's a rejection here. Stop loss at 4220.74. TP target. So we'll keep here the first TP as the market has created the new level, and 4230.43. So this is what we'll keep here for the next entry. And so this is where there is a, if you look at here, this is a liquidity zone, and there is a the market has got rejected from this support. If you look at here, so because there is a rejection, there is a possibility now here break this high, and once it break this high, the possibility to, if the market managed to break that high, possibility for moving back again to the direction of the trend. From the 4-hour chart that you can see, this is a 4-hour price action here that to potentially remain bullish. So the 5 minutes candlestick pattern, there's a retest, and expecting it to go ahead and fill that long wick back here to the upside. So place the pending order here for this potential move. Okay, so welcome back to this live session. Thank you for joining here, and if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. And there is a, if you look at here from this support, it's now on a lower time frame sideway, right? So that's where from this sideway, expecting it to reject again in the direction of the major trend here. And also, if you have placed this pending orders, can you say yes so that I know that how many members is following this trade here in this session? This drop that you can see from here to this level, okay, so that's a sign of potentially reversal, because if you look at from this level that you can see, it is a drop, that's a big drop, followed by we can see that the market tested this support another time and created a long wick candle, guys. This is a clue here. I'm out to place it. Okay, so it's very important that, guys, it's fully, you do the fully risk, like you do complete risk management here, because this market can go a lot back to the upside, or it can trigger the trade and can still come back down for liquidity grabs. So make sure you do the proper risk management. So lot sizing is important. Now here is the, if you look at here, this is a support, and the market has, if you look at this support here, has broken that low. Okay, so it got rejected here. Now we might get a trigger for this move again back to the upside, and I'm holding on to that. If we get that trigger, that's we're expecting it to 4-hour chart here, the market to potentially bounce off. There are quite a few long wick candles in that area, so that long wick candles potentially representing that multiple rejection from this higher price, but at the same time there is also multiple rejection from this lower price as well. So too loud. All right, here is the market slowly building its momentum, and so my trade got active, right? So the trade got active and expecting it to potentially to create a new higher high. So there is 15 minutes and 5 minutes candle closed. So the 15 minutes closed, there is a long wick again, and here is the market structure to, there are two rejection. And this is the 1 hour price action here. So the market has the 15 minutes candle close with a long wick. So as there is a multiple rejection here. If we look at, there is a rejection, and it has created a very unusual market structure. So the current high is here, and with the test of this current support, the market is on a support level, and so it's on the support level now, and that support has been tested multiple times. And looking at this market structure to potentially to see that how the market is reacting to that support. And that support is significant. If we look at the past, the market has respected that support many times. And now there is a, if you look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour market structure. Okay, so if you look at the 4 hour here, there is a okay, so if this market got that back here, that's where looking to see that potentially to create a new higher high. Sometimes the market creates a structure. If you look at, this is a very there was a side when head and shoulder, price dropped to that with a one single move, bounce back to the upside and create another single move. So especially this move that we can see here from this high to this low, and also if you look at this long wick, these two zones are crucial to look at, because there is a big drop and there is a long wick rejection. Now if this market rejects from here, they're expecting to go back to cross that 4225 level, and that's crucial to see the market is managed to break that high. Welcome. So looking at this price action on the 15-minute chart, that we can see after this candle close, there's a pullback, and there is a long wick here on the 15 minutes that we can see, and that's an imbalance. Looking to see the market to potentially retest that imbalance here, and welcome. There's a complete sideways market that you can see it's moving, and when the market moving a sideways, it trends less. That's where one of the biggest challenge that it might face when the market moves in a narrow sideways. Okay, so we are having later today two high impact news. So we have seen there was a double top here, and the market dropped to that level, followed by there is another rejection, double bottom. Now when the market created this move here, there was few times the price tested this support, and again going to the 4-hour level here. So this price action on the intraday, from the 4-hour perspective, that we can see there was a significant if you look at from this support level, had a rejection. Now with this, the previous session created this big bullish candle followed by a doji. So the longer term trend in this market is bullish. So this is from that perspective, from the 4-hour time frame, that we can see as it is Friday. If you look at the daily, here is the daily move. The market has the previous day created a big doji or a pin bar, followed by today's price. After this initial retest, there is a bounce back to the upside. So from the daily perspective, it is bull market. So if we align this lower time frame and the higher time frame, then we have, that's why the entry that I have taken in the direction of the major trend is because the daily trend here is bullish, and the market may still can come back later for a pullback, but expecting now in the beginning the price to cross this 4225 level and to create a new higher high, as the lower time frame trend showing possible upside. 1 hour candle closing in 2 minutes time, that is also showing that there is a so far bullish reaction here. Got that back up, and Gbpjpy, we will be looking at currencies once we manage this trade properly. And by the way, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream if you liked, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. And anyone looking at Gbpjpy else? Anyone else looking at Gbpjpy? Just went to the entry point, and 1 hour candle close that we have seen a bullish candlestick pattern formation on the 1 hour. How does that create for the next one? If you look at, this is a 1 hour bullish doji, and a doji pin bar red followed by a green. So this candle can act as a bullish confirmation, and even it can act as a starting of a bullish move back to the upside. This is what we are, or it can again come back for deeper pullback. That means coming back to this 1 hour 10 EMA. It can happen. Right, so far we are looking at this market to potentially show that upside momentum, And if it managed to break that high from the 1 hour, as this is a bullish pin bar, expecting it to continue to trend, have a breakout. Do you think it's gonna have a breakout here? We see that so far lower time frame bullish. Don't you think it's having a bullish breakout? Do you think? Awesome. Gone back up. And looking at this market now to cross this high. Okay, so it crossed that high and come on, getting rejection. Basically some market fluctuation that you can see in this market. There's a bullish engulfer. If there's a volume, we could see certain move back up here in that market. That can take the market even back above to the daily resistance line. All right, so daily resistance is today's high is at this level, right? So which is and my entry is just below the daily high, because if the market managed to break this high here, we could see the market to going for retest of the daily high. And if we can take the full move with a stronger momentum, that can bring nearly to 65 pip or more here. I'm looking forward to it, guys. We're running this. Just cross that high and still holding on to that. As I mentioned earlier, here there was a false breakdown followed by liquidity gap, therefore expecting a continuation back above here. Holding on to that for this move back up. Now today's market is bullish, guys. If you look at, it's a bull market. So here, that's why I have opened buy trade. And that is the secret. Always trade with the trend. Trading with the trend is the key to remain profitable over the long term. Right? When you trade with the trend, you're always trading in the major flow in the market. And that's where lies all the bigger wins, because when you're trading with the trend, you are actually trading the flow in the market, right? Flow is very important. How can you attain flow? Have an idea? Have you ever seen that, some athletes, very good athletes, soccer, cricket, or any player, they play even without realizing it, they are playing because they're in the flow. So when you attain flow, you actually give it completely to the giving in. So that's where you actually trust the intelligence of the body and mind, that you give it fully and it goes by itself. That's called a flow. And that flow you can attain through practice, because it's the product of brain. So we are almost there, and here is the move, 44 pip, and I'm still holding on to that, not closing it, because there is still possibility for one more bounce back to the upside. And as soon as I will be closing, I will be also giving a shout out here. Okay, so nearly there, and okay, so which is now going back nearly there. For best live trading, look up. Okay, thank you very much. And we are seeing that here. This is, I am at 49 pip, right? So still expecting for one more bounce, or will be closing. I'm still on it. Still on it, and I might close it. Now I'm closing it. Okay, I'm closing this trade right now. The reason I'm closing is there is a simple meaning is that it reached that peak. There might be again potentially another liquidity grab is possible, and so if you look at the 4 hour here, what's happened, the market has gone here well above, and now so the market, especially when you see there is a like this kind of consolidation, the market trend become less lengthy, that I would say. So it might continue to create a new higher high, or it may still can come back for another drop here. So we are out with the trade, and I'm looking at further confluence here for any entry. Need the volume in the market, and which is now there is a big doji on the 5 minutes, and now the market can the rejection is very long. Okay, so can we expect to break this high? Little bigger rejection here. Understanding market structures is crucial to catch bigger move. Okay, so here is big long wick doji that you can see here in that market, and that is one possibility that without grabbing liquidity here, it is now less likely to create a new higher high. But if the market managed to break out from here, that might be a big move back to the upside. Welcome back to this live session, traders. I hope that you are here for learning and growing as a trader, and make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Now, looking at here for another entry, as soon as you will find that. So if you look at this 15-minute candle, what do you see? That there is a big long wick rejection from this higher price, and what that tells is you see a rejection here in this market. This is happen when, if you look at trend is less predictable. There are quite a few long wick rejection from the high. This is the market may not be in a very stronger trend. And in the meantime, what's your thought on gold? Can you fix internet, please? Awesome trade, thank you. Should I fix internet? Are you guys not seeing properly? Is there any buffer? My internet super fast, but you know, you guys can see and hear properly. The flow is okay with the move. Good trade. Thank you very much for your appreciation. I think the net speed is okay. I hope that you guys, it is good. Thank you. All right, cool. So see that probably you need to check your internet as well. Make sure you check that sometime due to the time, like the flow become different. But from this side, that I have enough, I think enough speed for the stream, but sometime it happens. If you guys see the buffering, just let me know in the live chat. Okay, so what we can see in that area, this is where we will be looking for further opportunity once the market establish that trend, establish this as an uptrend, and that's what we are looking at here at the moment in this market, because the bigger win is the key. And you see that just in a matter of less than an hour, we have opened 2 trades. This session, we had previous session as well a trade. So the ultimately what we need to look at here, guys, is that entering with risk management and then trading with the trend. So understanding trend is very important if you want to become a successful trader, and then risk management is the next thing that you need to look at. So it's still maintaining that uptrend here. We might see now, because it managed to create another bullish impulse, that might go for a new higher high here. This is in fact bigger one. So now daily trend, if you look at the daily, so we traded based on the daily trend. So when you look at the daily market structure, right, if you look at this market structure, what do you see? This is potentially starting up a new higher high. Now we saw that the 4 days the market was in a pullback, especially first 3 days after this green candle was on Friday, right? And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days the market was in a bearish move up and down, which is in a sideways, followed by yesterday we saw a pin bar or a doji. Now looking at the daily trend, the market tested this both from the daily 10 EMA multiple times, and with the test of this 10 EMA today, after this initial pullback with the market open, look at here, it just tested that and rejected. So because it's the last day of trading week, there is a possibility here now that the market to potentially retest this weekly high. This is the weekly high. This is starting of the week. And if this is continue to rise back here for a new higher high, because it's a long-term uptrend, even we can expect to create a new higher high. So whenever the market will be down here today for a pullback, we will be looking at bullish entry on the lower time frame. So understanding the bigger picture, understanding the higher time frame trend is crucial for the trading on the lower time frame. And if you look at the trade that you have opened is based on the multiple time frame, right? We looked at the bigger picture, and then we found the directional bias from the higher time frame and waiting for the market to now show up another entry from a key level, which is very important to look at. Especially if you look at this lower time frame, that's a key level to look at for another entry, and we will be waiting to see the market to rearrange and giving us new market structure, new entry opportunity here in this market. There's an imbalance here. If you look at this zone, if this market breaks this swing high with the past here, if the market breaks this this high here in this zone, this is a pure imbalance in the market, and that can lead the market to create a spike to the upside, and that might even happen before the news or during the news if it creates enough price action confirmation here. set some music to go on, and we will be looking at again how the market structure might be doing. There is a breakout structure again, and the market is at this support level. So this is a structure now that has created, and as there is an impulse, we see there is a sideways market. From this consolidation to create a new higher high, we will be waiting to see how the market is reacting to this support level. This is a 15 minutes price action, and that can be starting of a new uptrending move here, or can be starting of deeper pullback. Market is at the support level now. This looking to see if this market now to have potential downside again from the 4-hour test, or we could see continuation. So this is a now 30 minutes candlestick pattern close, and there is a long week doji, and that might come down for a deeper pullback. If you look at, and if there is a rejection, there is a possible for deeper pullback. It might come back to retest any of this support before it eventually creates a new higher high. So we'll see also later today high impact news on dollar. Welcome guys. So we are looking at further entry opportunity once the market managed to create the structure here. And if you look at here from this double top, there is a drop that you can see from this support level to this support, and expecting the market to potentially trend here back to create a new higher high. And so if this is a false breakdown now here, we can expect further move again back above here in that market. And welcome. And as this is Friday, right? So if you look at the daily price action, and again you can see that from the daily we see that there is a significant bullish trend has formed on the daily, and that trend could continue to rise here to create a new higher high. So when you look at the daily chart, we can see clean trending market structure, and that's why multi-time frame is so important to look at. So when you look at the market, always look at the multiple time frame to see how the price action is creating the structure here. And there is some kind of rejection that you can see the market is creating here. Here is a if you look at, there is a narrow doji expecting to bounce off this level. So with a long wick here, and we're just ready for an entry. And let's also understand the fundamental aspect of today's market, and also we will be looking at here, along with this current trade that you have opened, what was the primary factor that we have considered. So before we go to that, I would like to say that there is coming up also later today USD core PCE price index. 3 important news coming in later in my zone. So which is, we'll see another 2 hour and 20 minutes time. Now this also big market move, and after the news we might see that starting of weekend closure move. So later on NY session is very important. Now at this point what we can see that the market structure in this area here, after creating this double top, there is a significant drop here. Now this move can continue to come back here before it again started to bounce off this level. So if we look at the 1 hour price action, we can see how the market may create the structure here. So looking at the trend, if we look at the trend, if you look at here, the overall trend in this market is bullish, right? This is what the first thing that look at the trend. And once you see the market trend, once you see the market structure is showing clearly, it's easy for us to enter the trade, right? And that's where I always emphasize, guys, in this live and without live, in the premium group, everywhere. Market structure. If you look at the market deeply, there are 3 secrets that you can find in the market. Right? Market structure, liquidity, and price action. And market structure is where you see that I have 10 and 20 EMS that can help to understand the overall trend, but the most important part comes from the market structure that you can read from the price action and market structure. And how do you identify the market structure in any time frame? If you look at the daily, that's a, without any question, it's a bull market, right? There's a 10 and 20 EMA crossover. There's a bullish impulse creating series of higher high and higher low, which is a bull market. And looking at the 1 hour, you can say the same kind of market structure has been created series of higher high and higher low, which is bull market. And if you look at the price section, you can, always using an analogy will give you better understanding of the market, because our minds sometimes, if you look at the thinking, some people thinks in terms of picture, some people thinks in terms of word, some things in terms of story also. So if you look at, they consider the market with a tree. Now the the trunk of the tree is the market structure, will determine which direction this trunk will be expanded. That's the market structure. The leaf is the price action, right? Bunching a lot of leaves from the trunk. So when you see the market structure, you need a backbone of that move. So what is the liquidity? Is the wind that can move that tree, and that's where you start to see which way you should be trading, in the direction of the wind, right? Now, this is a very important, these are the really important clues that can help you to make your trading decision. The first thing is, remember, whenever you see the market grabs liquidity from the up, like the market can grab liquidity from both directions, from the resistance, from the support, from this side and from this side. But when the market in an uptrend grab liquidity from this side, that is where you can see that there is a higher possibility for move back to the upside. And you can see this is the previous hour. There is a doji, and that doji has grabbed liquidity from the support, and that's where you see the market slowly building its momentum here back to the upside in the direction of the major trend. So whenever the market grab liquidity from the support, we are looking to go long. And today's two trades that you guys have seen that have opened both in the direction of the major trend, and still it's maintaining that uptrend here. So here, if we look at the timing, is very important. So nearing to New York session open. 10 minutes coming up. And current market open is London and Frankfurt. So basically coming up NY session opening in 10 minutes time. And that's gonna be, there might be volume coming up in the market with the sessions open. And this 1 hour candle that you can see closing also important, because if this 1 hour candle closing here like this, a healthy green body, the next one we can expect it to remain bullish and potentially to create a new higher high here. And that's super important. So there's a 15 minutes bullish pin bar, and this session here it's showing that bullish price action as well. So there is a possibility for a breakout here. And what I think that if the market successfully breaks out here, because it's a bull market, with the upcoming news we might see that stronger bullish confluence here, maintaining that uptrend to create a series of higher high and higher low in this market. So the market is maintaining quite a few bullish rejection here in that level, and that can lead that market potentially back to the upside here in that area, and that could lead the price continue to rise back here to create a new higher high. So we could see that continuation here in this market, and that could lead that market potentially back here to create a new higher high. So with a rejection here, it's maintaining that uptrend, and as we are progressing towards the NY session, we might see that breakout here and can continue to rise here back above because it's a bull market. 1 hour, we see there is another bullish candlestick pattern is being formed here. It's maintaining uptrend, and with the NY session opening, price slowly, the market is gaining momentum, potentially to creating new momentum, and we can see the price slowly building that momentum here. If you look at the daily here, you can see there is a daily bullish engulfer. So 8 hours 47 minutes remaining here on the daily time frame here in that market, and which is maintaining an uptrending market structure. So the nearest level here at, this is the recent swing high. And it may potentially continue to trend and may potentially create a new higher high. So from the 1 hour that you can see, it's showing that potentially bullish trend continuation here. So it's a significantly bullish, and with this 1 hour kind of close, if you look at that, has created a new higher high. It's a massive breakout here. Always logging in your internet. Thank you. Can see here anything. Okay, so probably Shihina, you need to look at your internet. Probably there is the problem, most likely, because here in this side is okay. All right, so that's where the candle close and the market has created impulse back to the upside 4-hour side chart. Now we had this session 2 trades, guys. This is where now today is very important. As I mentioned, Friday and Monday are very important day in terms of trading, right? So looking at now, because we secured that trade, now if you look at, you see there's a rejection coming, right? Now this kind of sudden rejection is sometimes a symptom of false breakout or breakdown, guys. This is another really great stuff, right? That's gonna change no matter what you are trading, or no matter what time you are trading, or no matter either you are a day trader, swing trader, scalper, crypto trader, trading US30, Nasdaq, anything, right? Anything you're trading, the information that I'm sharing, it's really helpful. So you can take notes or you can watch over and over again. The symptom of false breakout, okay? When you look at the false breakout, that's where you can predict the bigger move. And that's why we see that the previous trade that we have opened, because I want to give an example based on the actual trade that we have taken. That's what I prefer to trade in that way, right? So, and that's why all my strategy is based on the actual market movement, because they are back tested. And if you look at here, all right, so if you look at here, you can see that that's a false breakdown. And also this move that you can see from here to there, it's also a false breakdown. So how can you identify false breakout or breakdown? You can't never know exactly all the time, but there is a way you can predict with a higher probability. Okay, now this is important, because when you look at the higher probability, that is where you started to stand out. Because look at this one here, that move, the higher probability means that more often it's gonna happen. That is higher probability. Now, how do you see that move happen? There is no single green candle has printed in that move, firstly. Secondly, it's against the trend move, right? So the trend is up, and that move happened entirely opposite direction of the trend, followed by another pin bar, which is pretty long pin bar. This pin bar is in fact the order block here. So smart money zone here, and that's where the move happened. If you look at the market has made almost 114 pip from that pin bar to the upside. Now it's the last day of trading week, and we are looking at this kind of market structure to trade throughout the session. We have passed an incredible trading week with all of you guys together, trading every single day twice. As I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the week, that this week gonna be huge, and it happened. Even we saw that from the weekly. If I delete all those levels here, that you can see this week so far in the first 4 days there wasn't much volatility as expected. But today, if you look at the daily price action here, this daily market structure is bullish. Now today's market structure can give significant move later today, and that might be the end of the week move, could be significant here. And I'm looking at further trading opportunity later today, next week, and week after also significant. If you look at the news calendar, because this news calendar is where the market moves, right? If you look at this all those USD news coming up, FOMC, everything is next week, right? Next week is FOMC week, which is gonna be big market move, followed by third week before the holiday season coming up, that non-farm employment change, big week, and all those scheduled news will make an increased volatility or the market moves. That means there will be potentially higher volume in the market with trend expecting. So I'll be coming on live as usual with some new tools and strategies, and also some new trade setup next week. I hope that I will see you guys there again trading here in this live session. I believe that you guys enjoy this live session. There will be always winning and losing, but enjoying is the best part, and focusing on learning and growing as a trader. So again, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again very soon in the next live, just on Monday. Also tomorrow coming up some lessons, including the weekly Forex forecast. You can access all of them by subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you again, guys. Until that, stay well, stay happy, trade safe, and have a great weekend.